Hello, gentlemen, ladies. Welcome back to another installment of the Doc and Roll webinar series. We are overjoyed to see all of your messages and thank you so much for joining us today. For those who are new here, let me quickly give you a rundown. In this show, we bring together the finest drone solution providers and value-added resellers from around the world to share their insights and experiences of deploying and operating the DJI Dock for various applications. Today, we have an absolute headliner lined up for you. We will be diving deep into a pivotal role that autonomous drone technology will be playing in public safety operations with a focus in emergency response. To shed some light on this subject, did you know that a significant number of emergency calls are false alarms? Responding to these false alarms are extremely expensive, sometimes reaching billions of dollars in a single year. Bill brings with him 2 years of experience as a solutions engineer at DJI Enterprise. In his role, Bill has been instrumental in leading the global KOC, key opinion customer test, before product launches. He has successfully organized numerous product beta tests, including the groundbreaking Matrix 30 series, the H20N, the Mavic 3 Enterprise series, DJI Dock, Matrix 350 RTK, among others. Bill is also responsible for dealer training, ensuring that the dealers are well versed in latest products and features. Hello, Bill. Welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you.
I'd also like to raise the curtain to welcome another very special guest, Ziad. Ziad is an accomplished management professional with over 19 years of extensive experience specializing in delivering innovative industrial solutions. Throughout his career, Ziad has made remarkable contributions to leading international brands in the MENA region. His deep understanding of drone technology and local regulations empower him to seamlessly integrate drone operations and optimizing workflows. With his expertise, Ziad unlocks new possibilities and efficiencies across various industries. Presently, as the Drone Center's channel manager, Ziad exhibits a fervent passion for advancing the applications of drone technology, particularly in the domain of DJI autonomous solutions. Hello, Ziad. A pleasure to have you here.
Hi, Baisali, and thank you so much for the warm introduction.
Thank you again. Finally, I'd like to welcome Achal Negi, who is no stranger to this stage. Achal is joining us today to demonstrate how FlytNow is revolutionizing the automation of drone operations for emergency response. Hello, Achal.
Hey, thank you. Thank you, everybody, for joining.
But before we just dive into the discussion, I'd like to let you know that this session is being recorded and will be made available for online viewing soon. Also, do stay tuned until the end of the session. We are going to open the floor for a round of Q&A. In case you have any questions in between, please type them in the Q&A tab and we'll address them before the curtain falls. So with that, I'll pass it over to Bill.
Okay, thank you. And I'm Bill, and the solution engineer at DJI Enterprise Solution Team, and I'm glad here to present the topic about DJI Dock product introduction. So at first, let's go to the next stage, please. Next slide, please. Okay, so at first I will introduce the DJI Dock timeline. And you can see here, so DJI Dock is launched at March last year. But however, at that time, it's still in beta test stage. So in the following 9 months, we deployed a lot of DJI Docks in China and to improve and verify the reliability. And finally, in December last year, we started commercial shipment in China market. And till now, we have already shipped over 2,300 DJI Dock in less than 6 months. And it's only for China market. So you can see actually in China now, the dock application is very commonly. And for the global market, we start to ship the demo unit, not commercial unit, from March this year to now, and for the global demonstration and beta test. And for the commercial shipment to go on market, actually is coming soon. And according to our plan, is our dealer can place order end of this month. So for the client, they can get the DJI dock in next few months. Okay, thank you. And next slide, please. Okay, and in the following slides, I will introduce I will briefly introduce what is DJI dock. And in a nutshell, DJI dock is a drone docking station and designed to facilitate remote monitoring and autonomous deployment of drones. And the workflow goes like you can remotely plan a mission or manually control the drone on DJI's Flyver 2 cloud platform or third-party platform like the FlytBase. And the mission can be synchronized with the dock and the drone inside the dock, which is M30 dock version, and will take off and do the flight you designed and then return back to the dock and then automatically lands and can be charged up and get ready for the next mission. And next slide, please. And regarding the reliability, actually for the DJI dock, it has a very wide operation temperature range. Is from the -35 to 50 degrees Celsius. And it also has a very good waterproof capability. The overall protection is IP55. And for the core component is IP67. And also it can take off and then can withdraw wind speed up to 12 meters per second. And also it has the lighting protection, and it's equipped with a surge protector, which can prevent the 40 kiloampere inducting lighting. And also it has the backup battery, and it can guarantee even the power source is shut down, and it can guarantee the drone can return to home safely. And the backup battery's life is 5 hours. And the next slide, I will show you a video about the DJI dock to this is and also we do a lot of guarantees safety during the installation. And even the drones inside the dock, we also come down to the operation test. And this is a stock straight test. And we guarantee the drone can deploy safely inside. And this is water spread test to verify IP protection capability. And we do it in the lab, and also we and even the power is open, the dock still has a very good and this is outside the base. And this is the test case in China. Actually, we have already deployed many docks in different scenarios and different clients to improve its reliability. Okay, and next slide, please. And also, next is about the simple setup and the quick deployment. So at first, the DJI dock is very small and very light. Actually, for the weight, it's around 100 kilogram, and for the space needed is less than 1 square meter. And also, it used the all-in-one design, which means no matter like the surveillance camera, the weather station, the transmission antenna, and also RTK module, even the edge computing expansion is already integrated into the inside the DJI dock. So which means you just need to deploy DJI dock itself. You don't need to deploy others. So it's very simple and very easy to deploy. And next slide, please. And for the high efficiency, because the DJI dock used the M30 dock version, and it used the OcuSync 3 enterprise image system, transmission system, which have very good anti-interference capability and can provide the transmission range up to 15 kilometers. And also it has for the flight duration is 40 minutes, and which can effectively cover the 7-kilometer radius of the dock. And for the rapid turnaround, actually for the aircraft is equipped with the fast charging module, so it can charge the drone from 10% to 90% in just 25 minutes. And we also provide 2 charging modes for customer use. And next slide, please. And also for the dock management platform, actually DJI provides the DJI Fab 2, and which is based on the public cloud, and the server is deployed in US and use the AWS, the Amazon Web Service. And actually you can do everything in the DJI Fab 2, like the media file management, like the manual flight control, like the route planning, and also after you plan the route, you can use the DJI dock to autonomous to execute the mission. And also you can either integrate the dock health management system, so you can to check the health status of the DJI dock in Fab 2. And but actually DJI Fab 2 has some limitations, so we also provide the cloud API for our third-party partner like the FlytNow, and they can develop their own platform instead of the DJI Fab 2. And it can provide more functionalities like the AI capability. So you can to develop like the facial recognition, like the vehicle recognition, and also it can provide private custom deployment. For example, because the Fab 2 is based on the public cloud, and if the user is concerned about the data security, so they may to use the third party to store their data. And also like the more customized features. For example, because some police department has already have their own police response system, so the third party can integrate it in the existing system, and it's easier for user to manage dock in their existing system. So this is why we provide cloud API for our customer, and the Firebase have already done a very good job to integrate DJI dock. Okay, and I think this is all about the first part. And if you have any question, you can enter in the question box, and we will answer them later on.
Thank you so much, Bill, for that great introduction about DJI dock. I'm sure everybody out here is very excited for the commercial shipments to begin. And all the videos and case studies that we already see of DJI dock, they are all setting great examples in the industry. I would now like to welcome the second speaker, Ziad. Ziad, are you here? Hello?
Yeah, basically, I can hear you now.
Yes. All right. So over to you, Ziad.
Yeah, perfect. First of all, I would like to thank you all for taking the time to attend this webinar. Hopefully, this is going to be informative and beneficial to your businesses. So in today's presentation, I'm going to shed light on the importance of the autonomous solutions from DJI, in specific the DJI dock, in enhancing operational efficiency and effectiveness within the public safety sector. Next slide, please. So I will start with a quick brief on who we are. Basically, the Drone Center serves as the official platform for DJI Enterprise in the Middle East region. And we hold the certifications of being DCAA Training Center and DJI Certified Service Center. We implement a strategic segmentation approach in order to maximize the coverage and tap into the region's full potential. This involves appointing and managing sector specialists within the region and adding significant value to their businesses along the way. Next slide, please. Okay, why autonomous systems are vital within the public safety sector? Basically, quick deployment of resources is crucial in effectively managing critical situations during public safety and emergency response operations. And here, where the DJI dog can play a vital role in achieving it. Next, please. So some of the challenges our end users within the public safety sector are facing in their operations today, such as time. Time is a crucial element to respond fast and act in a timely manner. Limited resources, if there's not enough resources, they will not be able to take control and inspect large areas and handle multiple incidents at the same time. Moving forward, human lives at risk. So they want to ensure safer operation and not putting their operators in danger. Communication currently is the main challenge they are facing today, as information and communication has not been very well organized among their different departments. Next, please. So we will talk about the features and the benefits of the DJI Dock and how the system can overcome these challenges. Basically, it's 24/7 non-stop operation, enabling charging from 10 to 90% in just 25 minutes. It can fly for approximately 40 minutes within a radius of 7 kilometers to cover large areas. With the Flight Hub 2, you can unlock the DJI Dock functionality from the cloud. You can also schedule mission and manage data collection. You can plan to target any object. With the thermal feature, you can even identify humans in the targeted area. The DJI Dock comes with a wide-angle security camera, as well as integrated weather station and RTK module. The DJI Dock is rated IP55 and the internal components rated IP67, making it waterproof and dust-proof even when it is open. Next, please. So the DJI Dock able to cover many applications within the public safety sector, such as fire and safety, traffic management, nature conservation, border surveillance, first responders, search and rescue, and much more. Next, please. We always say if you're not using drones in your operations today, you are already behind the curve. Basically, drones should take a major part in every business to boost efficiency, increase productivity, and ensure safer operation. Next, please. The main benefits of autonomous systems are accelerating response time, as it can be quickly deployed to the scene, reducing response time and potentially saves lives. It increased efficiency, since it covers large areas, gathering data, and assists responders in more efficient manner. Enhanced situational awareness. The real-time video feed and sensors provide valuable information to responders. It helps in aiding their decision-making and resource allocation. Last but not least, improved safety. Usually, autonomous systems can operate in high-risk situations, minimizing risks to human responders. Next, please. And here, RAC Police has recently been testing the DJI Dock. The dock enables the user with a complete autonomous operations and eliminate the need for human interaction. By placing the dock at strategic locations in the city, they can receive round-the-clock drone support at the push of a button. The focus of this demonstration was the utilization of the DJI Dock product, which enables automated drone deployment, charging, data synchronization. The trial highlighted the potential of autonomous drones in enhancing law enforcement efforts. Next, please. The parameters that were taken for this demonstration, basically, they need to plan and execute a mission from a mobile command center, gathering real-time data through live video streaming. So as a result, I can say an added value the doc brought to Iraq police is that autonomous drones can be deployed fast and cover large areas comparing to the traditional methods. This efficiency translates into faster response time, enable police forces to address incidents promptly and potentially save lives. By utilizing drones for tasks that would otherwise require human intervention, police officers can reduce their exposure to potentially dangerous situations. Drone can be deployed for surveillance, data gathering, ensuring officers' safety remains top priority for them. Moreover, also it eliminates the need for human involvement, leading to significant cost saving over the time. By optimizing the resources and minimizing personnel requirements, police forces can allocate their budgets more efficiently. Finally, real-time data collection and analysis enable them to take decisions based on evidences. Thank you. That's all from my side. Please feel free to ask any question.
Thanks again, Ziad, for sharing how public safety departments can use the DJI dock effectively to, enhance the operations, and especially the case study around how RAC Police is demoing or taking the demonstration of the DJI dock to improve their operations as well. I would now like to pass it over to Achal. Achal, welcome again to talk about how FlytNow is enabling autonomous operations at scale. Over to you,
Sure.
Achal.
Thank you, Vaishali. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Great. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining. So let me just set the context. So we will be talking more about the software platform that enables automated drone operations, but we will be more focused on the public safety aspect as well as what kind of integrations and the server deployments, flexible deployments that FlytNow offers. So just to quickly introduce myself, my name is Achal Negi. I'm the Director of Business Development at FlightBase. And FlytNow is the enterprise drone autonomy platform, which empowers public safety emergency response teams to deploy automated drones using dogs. So moving to the next slide, let's talk about in more detail of FlytNow and the advantages. So in the last sessions that we did, the previous webinar with on the dock and roll series, we particularly focused on BVLOS data security aspects. Today, primarily, we'll be focusing on and looking examples for apps and integrations, focused on public safety, as well as more things on on-prem as well as private cloud deployment. So FlightNow provides, of course, multiple advantages from getting BVLOS approvals, where we are already approved in 8+ countries, to BVLOS add-ons, apps and integrations, where we have APIs, extensive APIs for workflow automation. It is data security and compliant, where we are compliant with all the cybersecurity frameworks, as well as we offer flexible deployment options for enterprises. So let's move on. Let's talk about the apps and integrations that FlightNow offers. So whenever we're talking to somebody in the public safety, they're looking to set up their incident management systems, or they're looking to set up something like a video wall that we see in this picture, where they want to see all the live video feed coming from the drone, coming from the CCTV cameras, other sensors. And then, of course, there is a feet on ground, the heroes who are saving lives or helping us out of get out of that accident, or maybe responding to a false alarm there, and they have no clue what it is there. So the public safety organization who are looking to set up these kind of systems, this is definitely possible with FlightNow, and we're going to talk about that in the further slides. So what FlightNow provides is, it provides the entire integration framework where you can integrate with your CAD systems. Now, CAD is computer-aided dispatch used by public safety officials, where you can get all the sensory data, CC cameras, do resource planning, you can do live tracking of multiple events in the single platform. And FlytNow provides those kind of APIs and integration, so you can integrate those enterprise applications with automated drones and dogs. So APIs integration with your CAT can help you leverage all the functionalities, getting video feed, getting data from different sensors, cameras, traffic data, all into one system. As well as we have a lot of built-in apps where you can integrate it with the video management solutions that public safety organizations have been using. Let's move to the next slide and quickly take a look at an example. So this brief diagram demonstrates the typical use case, right? What you're looking here is that you're looking to deploy a drone dog, a DJI dog with an M30 drone, and you're looking to use a fleet of them for public safety. Now, as soon as alarm comes in or a 911 equivalent call comes in for emergency services, you can automatically launch your drone from the docking station and send to that location. Now, FlytNow provides you an extensive alarm integration module where you can integrate with different kind of alarm systems which are available in the market, as well as through the online systems for any threat response. And we have a video coming up in the next slide where we talk about and see how this alarm monitoring system works. So let's see if we can play this video and have a look. So yeah, you can probably mute the video so I can do quickly explain what is happening here. So
Right.
you have a alarm tab right here where you can see different kind of alarms which could be integrated. So these could be different alarm sources where you could set a manual response or you can set an automated response to them. And as soon as the alarm comes, you can have a trigger time where under that second, the DJI dog would open up and send the drone to that particular location. So during the flight, you'll see, of course, the live video feed as well as the live location of the drone, and you can quickly send the drone to that particular location automatically without any intervention. Now, this is very useful for be it like a emergency response use case in a city, or it's a particular site, or it could be railway tracks. We are looking to kind of eventually respond over a railway track, or it could be a private property or a linear asset like pipelines where you're looking to respond to any kind of emergency or threats. So yeah, that is where the alarm came in. And after flight, you can of course see all the data. So you can go to the flight logs and you can get the detail analysis of where the flight happened and the playback, and all those details would be available in the logs. Okay, let's talk about different in-app features, right? So we are talking about flight over people, and safety is really critical. So what are the major components where FlytNow ensures drone safety or flight safety for these automated drone operations? So let's move to the next slide. So the first one is advanced fail safes. So of course, DJI Cloud APIs provide a lot of interfaces in terms of safeguarding the drone, and that is where we have tightly integrated DJI Dock with FlytNow, so you can get different kind of fail safes in the hands of the user. Now this is where you can set the low battery threshold, critical battery, what happens if the drone and dock loses LTE connection, what happens if there is no link between drone and dock, what if you lose connection on your command center where you're not able to get access to the internet. So this is all user configurable where you can set the threshold as well as set the action, what needs to be taken, and drone would do that action whenever that kind of trigger happens. So the next one is emergency landing site. So this is where FlytNow provides an additional layer where you can set a lot of emergency landing sites along your mission. So of course, there are safe location along with the dock, because if the dock is not accessible or something happens to the dock, the drone can go and land there. But an add-on where you could have multiple emergency landing sites is something which is provided by FlytNow. So the drone would go to the nearest site and land there. Now, this is very useful specifically for operations where you're flying in a city or you're flying in an environment where it might be the case where you cannot return back to the docking station. So you can have safe locations in between where the drone could go and land for the fail-safe conditions. Similarly, you could have different no-fly zones planned where you can set geofence as well as multiple items where the drone would not enter those areas. In the previous slide, we saw some purple diagrams. Those were the geofences where you could create, and the drone would not enter those areas. So you can create custom no-fly zones as well as geofences in flight now. Now, once you create geofences, we offer and geofences and no-fly zones. We also offer dynamic path planning, where you could have the drone automatically avoiding no-fly zones. So, suppose you have a no-fly zone and you send the drone across that. Now, if it triggers, say, direct return to home, it will take the straight path. But now you can set a threshold where before hitting the low battery, it can actually come in and avoid no-fly zones and come back and land on the dock. Now, this is very critical for BVLOS operations inside urban areas or where you have tall structures or you have any kind of no-fly zones, and that is where FlytNow can help you with dynamic route planning. Then we of course have airspace deconfliction, where we can integrate with different kind of UTM providers and have the data from their sources, as well as do different deconfliction between the drones and multiple flying aircrafts which could be there in the air. So this totally depends on the UTM and the data they provide, but we seamlessly integrate for airspace deconfliction with UTM providers. Now let's talk about the third-party integrations and what are some of them. We already saw an alarm integration before, but let's take a deeper look in different kind of third-party integration that FlytNow offers. So the first integration is ADSB integration. Now, of course, drones have ADSB on top of it. So now most of the latest DJI drones are coming with ADSB, and you can see that data. But one of the critical requirement also is there when you're not flying the drone remote drone operators want to see the ADSB data around that dock. Now the drone is off, the dock is off at not that stage where it's not flying. How do you see that? This is where we provide integration with external ADSB, where you can get that data right in the flight even when the drone is not flying. This really helps in regulatory permissions as well as getting the data for flight operations and BVLOS approvals, because now you are aware of the airspace around the dock. In the next slide, let's talk about parachute integration. So this is very critical for flyover people almost everywhere in the world, where if you're flying over people, it is mandatory to have parachute. And that is where we've integrated with several partners all across the globe, where you can have parachute on board the drone, and then of course have fail safes and control right in the dashboard in FlytNow. Okay, now let's move to the last bit. So we spoke about integrations and different kind of systems and apps which could be created on FlytNow for public safety as well as emergency response. Now, another critical factor is, of course, having secure deployment for data security, right? So a lot of solutions are multi-tenant, where they are based in different kind of countries, different kind of architecture, and that is where public safety officials or public safety departments have huge concern in terms of their data. So of course, our standard solution is based on cloud and multi-tenant, where it is compliant. We are SOC 2 pending. We have ISO 27001 upcoming, so it would be entire compliant. But specifically for public safety department who are looking for sole tenancy on-prem, let's deep dive into what are the flexible deployment options. So first, let's look at them really quick. So we have multi-tenant option, which is the public cloud option. Then you have sole tenant. So this could be dedicated deploy for a customer, again on the cloud, but very dedicated server for them. Then we have hybrid on-prem. So on-prem hybrid allows you to have video and imagery data on the on-prem, and rest of the data is on the cloud. And then we also have on-prem air gap, where you do not need any internet access as such. Everything could be deployed on-premise. So let's deep dive a little bit more and see what are the benefits of different kind of solutions. So let's talk about multi-tenant. So of course, multi-tenant is the most common one, where the first, can you go to the next step? Thank you. You can have Swift setup where it could be up and running in just 15 minutes. So if you have a dock, you can really get started with that. You have private storage integration. So you can seamlessly integrate your private AWS bucket storage. So the data stays with you in your country, in your AWS bucket, directly in multi-tenant solution as well. Plus, you have consistent maintenance and updates, so it's very seamless. You can benefit from continuous system updates and upkeep, where you're getting all that data, all the features, and the latest updates which are being pushed by FlytNow. Then it has the industry standard compliance, where you have enterprise grade security with SOC 2 as well as GDPR. So you are rest assured in terms of where your data and what kind of compliance procedure we are operating at FlytNow. And of course, it's hassle-free maintenance, where it is fully managed by us. So you don't have to worry about any on-prem deployment or how to manage that, how to update that. And it is, of course, the easiest to scale and smoothly to an effective system, and most cost-effective as well for deployment. But of course, as we are talking about public safety organization, larger organization, there is, of course, a lot of requirement for sole tenancy and other things. So let's deep dive into that in the next slide. So the sole tenant options allows you to have a dedicated server. Of course, it is maintained, managed, and owned by FlightBase, but it is a private instance running for you. So there are no other user accounts on that. It is only for your customer, where you can have all your user accounts, your team there, and your data, and nobody else has access to that kind of system. So you, of course, have increased security because there's no other accounts on top of that. Then you have, can you go to the next point? The compliant to data residency laws. So your server deployment could happen on the cloud, which is there in your country, and you can comply to that data residency laws. You have full customization control in terms of how you can scale and what kind of server configurations are required for your drone operations. You also have all the flexibility to add or remove resources based on your application demands. So sole tenancy option also provides you all the functionalities of the cloud. Now, this is really helpful for the organization who don't want to manage their on-prem, do not have access to hardware, because of course there is an extra cost and you need a team to manage all of that. This is for organizations who still want to use cloud, but they want to have all the increased security and benefits, combination of both the on-prem systems as well as the cloud access in their FlightNow. Now let's talk about on-prem hybrid. So this is a unique approach in terms of deploying drones, and this is being already done in a lot of other software which government use, in terms of if they're using something like Zoom or any video conferencing software, but how do they adopt these kind of cloud services? Now, this is the answer to that, where they can use an on-prem hybrid, where they enjoy high data privacy as well as live video streams, and media data stay within their private network. So the video data, image data is not going out of the network, and it's on-prem. Rest of the data is also on the of course, on the public cloud, where in terms of their metadata, subscription data, everything is on public cloud. But the critical piece in terms of the video imagery stays on the private network. Now, of course, since it's on-prem, there is even reduced network latency, where they can experience smoother operations with reduced latency in terms of the video as well as any other aspect, because we're leveraging their on-premise devices and network to do drone operations. Similarly, you also have the enhanced streaming quality, where you can benefit from improved video streaming quality, crucial for precise operations. So you can get a better streaming quality from the drone, since you're not relying on the internet for such operations. Very important for crucial operations where you cannot afford to have lost video feed or latencies coming in, because there could be really critical operations. And of course, the data control, where you can maintain complete control over your sensitive data in your own infrastructure. So that's on-prem hybrid. Of course, as we move to the highest tier, it is expensive, where you need to have your own system and servers which can manage all your video resources. Now, last but not the least is, of course, on-prem air gap. Now, this is something where it could be truly on-prem and deployed on your servers. It, of course, offers a better latency in terms of any delay, any experience that could go wrong with the internet. You could have the entire solution running there. You have exercise full control. You can exercise full control over your data and storage location, ensuring it's always secure and is resident in your servers. You can of course have the entire deployment done in house with your support IT team, or you have a third party which handles it for you, but requires its own IT specialist which can maintain those servers, since it would be in house and you would need the ongoing support. So that is where the cost increases. But if you already have private server, or your customers already have private servers, this is the option which could work from them. And there is, of course, an initial investment, but requires initial upfront cost, or the investment for superior control and security, and for customers who are very particular about having everything on-prem. So this is, of course, the costliest option, as well as you would need to manage everything in-house. You need to schedule the updates, but that is where our structure schedule maintenance come into picture, where we can closely work with you to deploy all of this, as well as maintain this for your entire fleet of dogs that you're deploying for public safety or emergency response. So let's go to the next slide, and let's see if we can have a quick demo video. So this video demonstrates how you can set up DJI Dock under just 15 to 20 minutes. If you have access to DJI Dock, or you're getting access to DJI really quick, you can just get it connected with us. We'll help you with the documentation as well as detailed guides, where within half an hour or so, you'll be up and running with your first flight. So it hardly takes about 15 minutes to set up and 15 minutes to prepare, and you could be up and running. And we can conduct the entire training online for you to start operating DJI Dock with FlytNow. So in this video, you would see how it is easy to set up. Of course, you need the DJI RC, where you have to enter the FlytNow MQTT address and credentials. And once you've done that, it automatically connects to Flightbase servers, and your dock is ready to be used with FlytNow. So now you can get to the mission planning dashboard in FlytNow. Just log in online. You can have a login through Google. You can create your own account inside, and you would see your DJI Dock added to your dashboard with just few steps, and then you would be able to configure and plan. So I think the video is again up. We are seeing how you can create a quick mission. You can of course create a path mission. You can create a grid mission. We also offer enterprise add-ons to create corridor missions. And once your mission is set, you can of course choose the right mission and launch the drone from the DJI Dock. You have a simple checklist coming in. This is totally configurable, and the drone, the dock opens and the drone gets deployed from the DJI Dock. And then, of course, you can see the live telemetry, live location on the map, as well as the live video feed. DJI just released their latest API for live control. So that is something which is now coming to FlytNow within the next couple of weeks, where you'd be able to control the drone remotely, as we could do for different other drones previously that would be available to DJI Dock. So all the FlytNow functionalities now would be coming to DJI Dock within the next couple of weeks. And you can get started with FlytNow today itself if you already have access to DJI Dock. So as you can see, it's reaching the last waypoint, and you can see the live video feed right on the screen. You can, of course, enter the full screen view if required and get into the cockpit view to see the entire video stream. Once the mission is done, the drone will come back and land precisely in the dock and charges for the next mission. So that was a brief demo for you. Yeah, let's open up for the questions, and we can have all the panelists on the stage.
Thanks, Achal. Thank you again for sharing this detailed presentation on how FlytNow is being done in operation.
There was one. I will discuss this after. Have you? Yeah. It's
sorry, I hear some.
They're pushing me. I will.
Okay, so we'll open the house for Q&A. We have gotten a lot of questions already around the doc. Bill, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. So we have a few questions around the dock. First of all, is what are the different payloads that DJI dock or the M30 series support?
Uh, Actually, no other. Do you mean the camera or like the
Yes,
like
yes,
speaker?
the camera and the other payloads.
Actually, for the camera, is undetachable, so which means it's fixed and non-removable. So it has only two versions, the M30 and M30T. The M30T has the thermal camera, but the M30 does not have thermal camera. But for you can still mount some third-party payload, but it's not camera payload. It's like speaker, like gas leakage detector on the top of the drone. You can mount that kind of payload. But for the camera, is fixed and not and non-removable.
All right, thank you. Just moving on to another question. So, what if somebody moves the dock while the drone is flying? Will the dock return where it was supposed to return, or will it be specific to the area of takeoff?
Sorry, can you repeat again?
Yes. So once the dock has taken off, once the drone has taken off from the dock, will it return back? So how is the landing going to happen? Will it return back to the dock in case it's moved? Is it according to the geolocation? How does the landing work? If you could just maybe.
Oh yeah, actually it has two mechanisms. So at first, because the dock has already for dock station, it has built-in RDK module, so it will provide the RDK signal to the drone. So it's because if without RDK signal, the drone use GPS signal, the accuracy, the positioning accuracy is meter level. And after the drone connects the RTK signal, the position accuracy is mid-centimeter level. So it can guarantee the drone safely land in the landing pad. And also, we also provide like it's like a QR code on the landing pad. So also the aircraft has a vision system on the bottom. On the vision system will detect the QR code and to adjust the position. So the two mechanisms to guarantee the drone can land in the dock safely.
Right. Thanks again, Bill. Moving on to a question for Ziad. Ziad, how can people get started with your services? So, would you provide the DJI dock as well as the software, or and help with the setup as well? If you could share more information for the audience.
You mean the after sales support, right?
Yes.
So basically, yes, we are setting up the service center. So we are getting trained by the DJI training center. So the guys, they're already now, they're here now this week. So to train us. And when we are getting trained, we train our dealer partners.
All right. Thanks, Ziad. There are few questions around the regulations. So, how does it? Do you also help with getting the waivers or required for BVLS operations for the geographies that you operate in? Could you shed more light on that?
So basically now we can propose the DJI dock to the public safety sector because it's easy. It's easy to get to break through this sector only. So later on, when they ease in the restrictions on regulations, so we can expand our approach. But at the moment, we are focusing the public safety sector because it doesn't require a lot of approvals.
I have few questions here as well. So one of the questions that came up is again with the BVLOS operations different countries. So let me just take that. So FlightNow has been closely working with drone solution providers in these countries, and what we do is we provide lot of technical modules which can help you with making your BVLOS application safe. So be it like dynamic path planning, having different kind of field safes, integration with parachutes, we can provide different kind of additional components which allows, which kind of enables you to prove to the authorities that operation is safe. Plus, on the other side, of course, we help you with all the SORA as well as approval waiver process, where we have different partners and consultant who can apply for BBLS process for you. So in case you're looking for any kind of approval process, we have different partners. Plus, we have a better understanding of what are these kind of different modules which are required to make operations safe, and we can provide standard templates which could be submitted to authorities, where you can have BBLOS waiver applications filed with them. One other question I think Arpit has asked, and this might be for Bill, is he did not understand the speaker part. So the standard M3 Mavic 30 M30 sorry M30 drone payloads, are they compatible with dog? Do they work with the drone dog that comes together?
Yes, you mean like speaker, like the yeah. Oh, yes, it's compatible. It's
Okay,
compatible with dock.
okay,
But
okay,
actually, but now because it requires a flight hub um, to integrate the third-party payload. So and we will release in the next firmware update.
got it, got
It's
it.
around
So yeah,
Q3.
that needs to come to cloud API, so that could be
Yes, yes,
integrated
yeah,
to another third-party software.
yes.
Great, great. One other question is, somebody's asking that they have 40,000 square meters, and how many dogs would need to be covered. So maybe that would require some math, but maybe Will, you can share what is the typical range that you're getting, and Ziad, if you have any experience there, what is the typical range that we get from DJI Dock and M30?
Yeah, actually, the maximum range is around 7 kilometer radius.
Okay,
But according to our experience, 3 to 5 kilometer is recommended for dog deployment.
okay.
So you can use this radius to calculate how many dog you need.
Mhm, mhm. And is that the same like all across the dog, or does they vary from the like? It may vary with a lot of environment conditions, right? So is it
Yes,
like advisable to have dog on a higher surface to get a better signal? Because I think the drone and dog are connected.
yes, yes, of course, of course.
Right.
If we
Okay.
if deploy the because the signal is one part the one part of consideration you need to consider about to design how many dog you need, and signal is one part. Another part is the duration, the flight time. So actually, according to our experience, if you need to, for example, um, fly to one place and do some works like to the patrolling work or inspection work, you need to remain enough time. So according to our experience, the 3 to 5 kilometer radius can meet the majority requirement.
Got it. Great. Yeah, I think Bashal is back. Bashal, do you have any other questions from the audience?
Yes, I think there is another question around: is there always going to be a remote pilot in command required or a visual observer required for DJI dock operations? So that definitely depends geography to geography. So Ziad, how is it in your operating region? Is there a requirement for visual observer?
Come on, I didn't get the question. Please come again.
Yes, sorry. So the audience has asked if there is a requirement for visual observer for operating the DJI dock at all times, like a remote pilot in command, to avoid any such incidents that may happen. So, is in your region, do you see that? Is it going to be required to have a remote pilot at all times?
Definitely, it is required here. So basically, the range, the flight range of, for example, the Matrix 300 is 15 kilometers. So here we can say only you can fly with a radius of 7 kilometers because you need to always, see the drone. So this is part of the safety regulations here and part of the laws that imposed in this country.
Thanks, Ziad. I think I have two final questions for Achal. Is the manual control going to be available on FlytNow soon? And what about when there is a loss of internet? What happens then?
Sure. So I have briefly mentioned that. So we would have the live control coming in. So that has been a standard feature of Flight Now, and now it's coming to DJI Dock with the new APIs that DJI release. So that will be coming in next couple of weeks to Flight Now, where we'll be able to live control the drone setting remotely, and all those features of integrating your joystick, be it like a keyboard mouse control, or it could be a Xbox controller, or a specific a controller that you use, you can integrate that for the live control. And sorry, what was the second question?
Yes,
Uh,
in case there's a loss of internet, how do you still stay connected to the dog?
Right. So in the failsafe bit that we spoke about, we have a Flight Now internet loss failsafe. So of course, Dock already has failsafes in terms of what happens in different kind of conditions from low battery to connectivity. But we have extended even it to the command center, because you could be connected to 5 drones simultaneously and operating them. And if you do not have access on your command center, what happens in those kind of situations? So it's totally user configurable, where it can go and land back on the dock, complete the entire mission, come and back, or immediately come back and land, because maybe your SOPs do not allow that, or it could go and land on the safe location. So that is something which is already pre-built in Flight Now with DJI Dock.
All right. It's unfortunate what's happening today, but I thank you everyone for joining in today. If Achal's back, we will be sharing all of this information online as well. And yes, I think for whoever's asking if they'll get a copy
I
of the
think now we
presentation,
lost it.
the webinar will be published online. The recording to the webinar will be published for online viewing soon. Ziad, Bill, thank you again for joining us today. If you would like to share any quick closing thoughts before we close the curtain.
So I just want to say again, thank you all for taking the time to attend this webinar. Hopefully, this is insightful and informative for your operations. So, and we want to make sure we will do more and more webinars. Just, to enhance this operations and to speak more about how drones can boost the efficiency, increase productivity, and ensure safer operations in every business.
Thanks, Ziad. Bill, would you like to share something?
Okay, and at first, thank you guys to join today's webinar, and also because today's webinar is focused on the public safety, and I think in the future we can provide more webinar in other industry, and also many I think you are worried about like the PV loss application and also like the regulation part. We will also to provide the webinar to introduce it and how to apply the PV loss.
Thanks, Bill. And Achal, before we close in, do you have something to share?
Sure. So first of all, thank you, Jihad and Bill, for your valuable time, for coming here and sharing your thoughts. And thank you, everybody, for joining today. And I hope this has been a really informative webinar for you. And as Bill said, we'll be, of course, collaborating more on different kind of use cases, loss waivers, and helping you guys adopt this technology. So you feel free to email us, get in touch. You would find us on LinkedIn. If you head to the Flightbase page, we have already shared the details where you can talk to Ziad or TDC, and that information would be available. You would soon receive the recording as well as the contact details over the email. So thank you so much for your time. And yeah, that's it from my end.
Thanks again. And yes, you definitely you can reach out to the FlightNow team on flightnow.com. And I'm also going to drop in the link to reach out to the drone center as well. DJI, definitely you can just head over to DJI. Bill, if you would like to share some coordinates, please do that for the team to reach out to your team as well. And thank you again, everyone, for joining in and for sharing all your feedback as well as comments, questions. We hope to see you in the next webinar soon. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye bye.